What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live trading video. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at New Zealand dollar. I'm taking just under one lot on the long side here on the 4-hour chart and be talking about this trade and watching it play out, whether it is a winner or loser, and uploading it to YouTube for you guys. My goal with these videos is to show you what real trading looks like on a slightly larger account basis, and I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years, so I'm going to try and give you guys my raw emotions, my raw thoughts, and my raw reactions to a trade as it plays out. So I'm currently long on the New Zealand dollar as price has pulled back pretty sharply here, and I like the idea of going long here. One of the main catalysts or reasons is something that I mentioned inside of our private Discord where I share all of my trades. Let me pull this up and I'll show you guys here. Basically, the fundamental side of it, as I said, that the RBNZ basically came out and said that they are looking to raise interest rates as soon as, or as possibly as soon as, September 2022. Things are overall looking very bullish on the New Zealand dollar, and I'm looking to buy this as price pulls back in combination with my bearish thesis on the US dollar, which is there are high concerns around inflation right now, and generally I am not super bullish on the dollar as it has been rallying recently. We can take a quick look at the currency heat map on our website and see that today, the US dollar at the time of taking this trade is pretty strong today. So I'm actually looking to sell that strength and looking to pick up some oversold, in my opinion, New Zealand dollar positions. So it currently down 1.1% today is the New Zealand against the US dollar. And so, like I said, I jumped into my position here, and I'll quickly go over the technicals and my stop loss, and then I'll pause the video and let the trade come back once things have moved a bit. So my stop loss is 30 pips away, just underneath structure. So I've actually pointed out that here's the level of demand. We saw some nice rallies from this point, and so I'm looking for this level to hold. Otherwise, I will stop out of my position, and the place that I've identified that stopping point would be a break underneath that level to a degree of 30 pips. I will stop out of the trade for a loss there. If that happens, I will just move on and find another thing to trade. It is what it is. But for the upside potential, I think that we have possibilities of making a move back up to the previous high there at 0.73. Again, off the back of that positive sentiment from a fundamental analysis perspective, I have a bias to the long side, and then I'm using the technicals to actually enter and exit my trade. So from one more thing I wanted to show you guys is the daily chart is looking pretty bullish here. We've been consolidating, but after this recent nice rally, I'm looking at this dip as a potential place to get long for a continued push. I do have sort of an end of year target on the New Zealand dollar at a pushback to a point like this, 0.745. We can mark this here. I should have had it marked before, but the idea here is just a return to the high by the end of the year is another part of my bias. Now, I can be wrong about these things, but the point is these are the biases that I build, and then I act on them on the lower time frames using my technicals and my entries and exits that I use with my strategy. So I'm looking for this pullback here to hold. If it does hold, then of course I will update you guys and show the position as it goes along. And if it stops out for a loss, I will also show that and record and upload that to YouTube for you guys to see and hopefully learn something. And you can hopefully be nice to me in the comments if this trade doesn't go well. But again, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trading live and sharing the results here on YouTube. So I'll pause the video. We'll come back once things have gotten moving again here on the New Zealand dollar. All right, and I am all out there. New Zealand dollar did ended up stopping me out, which is not the best scenario. Obviously, you want to make money on trades, but occasionally something like this happens where we just get a crazy red candle that just pushed right through my buy limit or my buy order there. So I want to talk a little bit about the trade. So the final result of this trade is I ended up being down $292.94 on the trade. But I want to add more context to this because not only did I lose this trade today, I actually lost a second trade that I wasn't able to film because of how quickly I lost. And yes, I mean that in like the most honest way possible. I took 2 trades today, and it only took me a few hours to lose both of them. And the point of me telling you this is not to sugarcoat it or anything like that. It's actually been a minute since I've filmed a video where I've taken losses in my trades, and they definitely still happen to me, but it's actually been a little while because we've been on such a hot winning streak. So I want to go through both of those losses really quick. Obviously, you guys saw me taking the New Zealand dollar trade, which ended up stopping out. Like I said, we'll take a look at the 1-hour chart here. You can see I got in here. Price did not hold that area like I was hoping for it to do, and then it rolled over. That big red candle kept going. We had a lot of dollar strength, and it was actually some extra news that came out that really kept pushing that US dollar higher, which was not great for my New Zealand position where I bought New Zealand dollar, and so the US dollar rallying is not exactly what I was hoping for. Either ways, it just got stopped out on this candle here, took a loss there. But I do want to say that it is a very controlled loss. This is not a massive, destructive loss to the account or anything like that. It's a small position that I took, didn't quite work out, and that's all good because I can come back another day and try and make up for that loss just by sticking to the plan and staying consistent. But I also want to talk about AUD USD. Here's another position that I took today and got stopped out of this one as well. So let me show you this. And I know there's already people in the comment section getting ready to type, Nick, you're a terrible trader. How could you take these losses? You're revenge trading, etc. All these different claims. But please understand, both of these trades met up with my criteria. I completely would take these trades again should they set up. Just didn't work out this time. And that is the reality of trading that you're not going to hear mostly on social media. They're going to show you when they're winning. They're not going to show you when they're losing. But the purpose of me showing you when I lose is so that you can see the reality of what trading really looks like, especially if you're newer to this stuff and you don't see somebody talking about losing trades and how to cope or how to deal with them. I'm not like flustered. I'm not like super bothered by this. Losses happen. It's a part of the process. And in order for you to take wins, you have to understand that sometimes you're going to take losses too. So with that said, I ended up getting stop out on AUD USD. Let me show you the trade alerts that I sent to members on AUD USD. You can see very similar to the New Zealand dollar. I said I'm going long on Aussie with a 30 pip stop. Basically, it's a bit abnormal for me just because we're in such a range-bound market, as I mentioned inside of the group. And then ended up putting my stop loss, etc. down below and got tagged out of that. And before I could even film that trade, I was stopped out. So again, had some crazy volatility this morning on the dollar, and it ultimately got me out of my trades quickly. So we're just going through them one by one. I actually said I got smoked pretty quick on that one, and that it's fine, and I'll just look for new setups. Ended up finding another setup. That setup also did not work out. And so this is the point of me showing you this, is that sometimes this can be frustrating for newer traders. People who don't understand the concept of like having losses occasionally stack up can be really annoying or frustrating, but it is just part of the trading journey. So took like a $300 loss on Aussie dollar, took like a 290 or whatever I said loss on the New Zealand dollar, and ultimately down not terribly for the day, but I think around $500 or $600 for the day, which is really not that bad. If you've been seeing some of the recent trade videos, we've had days where it's racking in a $700 win or a $1,000 win or a couple $1,000s on a good set of trades. So again, I knew it was happening. I knew it was going to happen at some point. The win streak would end. And so we're going to do it with grace. We're just going to be done for the day and come back at another point to look for more setups. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, my goal with these videos is to stay as honest and transparent with you guys as possible, to show you what it really looks like to be trading the financial markets day to day with a bit more of a position size than maybe a brand new trader might have. So with that said, if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and come back and see me again. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you back in the next one.